I have just thought about the word free in the English language, and it seems that the word and the language also suggest that in order to liberate oneself, one has to do the free guy training program for 30 weeks, which is compatible with what Mr. Patrick Pounds on YouTube said that you have to do 55 5 times. And 55 is 6 weeks of doing the free guy program. Multiplied by 5 is 30. So it's 30 weeks. Now, honestly telling you to live with that intolerable creature for 30 weeks is a huge nightmare. But it seems that 30 weeks, when they use the term 30 years so much in the movies and TV shows, that instead of saying 30 weeks, I am saying 30 years. Or maybe it just feels like 30 years already. Under constant torture and abuse. Anyway, 30 weeks of that thing is a huge nightmare, but it seems that after all, 30 weeks is what is required. Now, I don't have much of a choice because it seems to be a system set up by some sort of a higher civilization with a much more advanced technology that I don't have the means to counter. So I can either accept it or be miserable for the rest of my life. I don't have much of a choice. So the choice is between to suffer for 30 weeks or to suffer for the rest of my life, which is what would happen if I don't do this program for 30 weeks. And to be honest, I'm going to do this program anyway, because it has so many benefits other than freedom. So the 30 weeks option is really the only option. Suffer for 30 weeks and then become free. But you see, it's been suggested to me by the UN Twitter channel several years ago that if you do this program for 4 times longer as 30 weeks. If you do it for 120 weeks, then you'll be awarded with lots of money. It's just that they used a number that I only deciphered recently. I only understood it recently, that the number they used meant doing that program for 120 weeks, which is not the number that they used. They used a different number beginning with 8 and ending with 6. Now you see, I'm going to keep doing this program for many years anyway. So if I can be free within 30 weeks, and then I can earn more money with that program, then it's very good. But if they're like saying that in order to receive that money, you have to forfeit the option of being released within 30 weeks. And you have to be patient 4 times as much and remain in captivity 4 times longer. You have to remain in captivity for 120 weeks just to receive more money. There is no fucking way in the world that I would agree to that. I mean, it would take a really masochistic person to agree to such a completely inhumane option. Selling your own suffering for money, it's insane. It's worse than prostitution. Because prostitutes, they sell their body, but they don't necessarily suffer, and they control when they work and how they work and where they work. But here it means being stuck with an evil but intelligent parasitic creature, intelligent but with a horrible personality, horrible, that can torture and abuse you and make you suffer at any time that it chooses. How could anyone choose such an option? No matter how much money is paid, it's not worth that. Trust me that if 30 weeks is all that it takes, I most definitely choose the 30 weeks option and not a second longer. No amount of money is worth being stuck with that sadistic evil thing. I am emphasizing the fact that this freedom that is being achieved is not merely freedom from imprisonment, from confinement. It is freedom from being constantly and sadistically, physically abused. It is freedom from suffering not just imprisonment or confinement. It is freedom from a malevolent, hateful creature that deliberately ruins every bit of happiness that a person has. That creature is intolerable. I would never even think about the idea of trying to get more money by spending more time with that evil thing in my life. I repeat, no amount of money worth it, no amount. Even if I'm offered $1 trillion, I don't care. That creature has to go as soon as possible. If it's 30 weeks, then so be it. 30 weeks, but not a second longer.